Well, what is up there, my fellow cubists? Welcome to the 43rd episode of the Curve the Cube podcast. This is Jemmy from Flintstone Media, and I'm hoping that you're listening to this podcast and being inspired to pursue your dreams, because that's the whole point. It's a South Florida-based arts, entertainment, and media podcast where I interview a bunch of people who are really living a passion and pursuing their own dreams, whether a hobby or full-time, and I just want more people to do the same, because you gotta feed your soul, you gotta feed your spirit, and you gotta be your true self, even if it's, outside the 8 to 10 hours at work, but, whatever. Be yourself and pursue a passion and live a dream, and that's how you're going to be happy in this life. So I'm hoping that Curve the Cube gets you there. And on this 43rd let me tell you, I'm so excited, because when I was little, I always loved, ghosts and paranormal stuff and just like thinking about those kind of things. And it wasn't until I saw a show called Ghost Hunters that I even knew that people actually investigated these kinds of things. And so I invited the Gold Coast Paranormal Society to be on the podcast, and they were so amazing and gracious to come on board and join me. And it's Donna, Carrie, and Pam that you're going to hear in this episode, just 3 of the members of the Gold Coast Paranormal Society, and we talk about their investigations, what kind of evidence they've seen, what kind of experiences they've had personally, and some super, super weird stuff. And we even play a couple EVPs, one of which is just, like, when the first time I heard it, I just was like, there's no way that's crazy. So I hope you have the same reaction. Maybe get a chill or a couple tingles. Make the hair on your arms come up. But it's just a great episode. They share so much great information about, everything. The equipment, how they get their investigations, what they do on their investigations, how they became the Gold Coast Paranormal Society. It's really neat. So they do all these investigations for free. Their goal is really just to help people, whether it means, proving other reasons why it's not paranormal, or perhaps giving them advice for when they do believe that something is quite amiss. They're really great. So go to goldcoastparanormal.com to visit their website and find out, listen to some EVPs, have fun with that, find out all their events. One event I want to make sure that I highlight, it's happening just ahead of Halloween. It's October 27th at 6 p.m. in the Boynton Beach Library. The one, I believe, is the West Boynton branch. Yeah, the one off of Jog Road. And they're going to be doing a presentation all about ghost hunting. So if you don't get all the information you need from this podcast, even if you do, go out there and meet them and say hello, and perhaps you'll get into some ghost hunting yourself. You never know. They invited me on a future investigation. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Anyway, so you're going to get into it on this podcast, and they're just incredible. So this podcast is sponsored by the Pizza Girls, who are West Palm Beach's top spot for authentic New York pizza. They make sure that every single one of their customers comes in having a slice day, and they're just awesome. Phoebe and Jen are the owners, and they're incredible. They're actually on a previous podcast, so be sure to look them up. I can't remember exactly what number, but I'm sure you can get up in the archives. Pizza Girls, right there on Clematis. You gotta check them out. Find them on social media. I think everywhere they're pretty much Pizza Girls West Palm Beach, or just Pizza Girls. It's so hard to miss them, but they're incredible. Pizza's so yummy and good. And if you mention the podcast when you go in there, you get 10% off, so woohoo. Lastly, I like to thank, because I don't ever really do it. I don't think I've done it in a long time, and I need to more, but I want to thank DJ John Hitta for providing this music bed that you're listening to right now. He provides all the music beds for the podcast, and I thank him so much for doing that. So be sure to follow Curve the Cube on all of the social media outlets on the interwebs. It's always at Curve the Cube, or just go to curvethecube.com for all the links, and that's it. Enjoy the 43rd episode with the Gold Coast Paranormal Society. This is Jemmy from Flintstone Media, bringing you the Curve the Cube podcast. Enjoy! Curve the Cube will now initiate. Welcome! Come on in!
I'm Donna.
Hi, Donna. and you're Pam.
I'm Pam.
Hi,
yes.
Pam.
How are you?
Hi, nice to meet you. And you're Carrie.
Yes. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Oh, thank you. Cute dress.
Oh, thank you.
I have water for you guys if you guys want some water.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's funny because usually, usually this is literally this is episode, or will be episode 43, I think. This is the first time. This is the 43rd time I've intended to give people water, and it's it's the first time I've actually remembered to do it.
Starting a new trend. Mm-hmm. All right.
You got to start somewhere, right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So I'm so glad you guys are here.
Thanks
I
for having
find
us.
what you guys do so fascinating. I think the first time I ever really heard about it, other than like in movies and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was Ghost Hunters, like during that first early season.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I ever heard of paranormal investigations. I'm like, are you serious? This is a
That's
thing?
A lot of people.
Yeah, it
exposed
really,
to it then,
really opened the doors for a lot of people, and
absolutely.
I've been fascinated ever since. And so, when I heard that you guys are doing it in our own backyard, I was like, that is so cool. That is so cool. So, if you want to just do a quick intro, so the listeners can get to know your voices a little bit, and just a quick say who you are, and
I'm Pam. I'm one of the founders since 2007.
Awesome.
I'm Carrie. I joined in 2009.
Yeah, I'm Donna. I joined in 2009. Yeah, also.
Yeah. I was looking at your at the Facebook page, and I thought it was really funny. I'm not sure who posted it, but someone posted a meme that said something like, basically, people think we're crazy to sit in a dark room for hours and talk to thin air. I hope that a ghost talks back. So I'm dying to know. Why do you guys investigate creepy things? Just kidding. What's the motivator? Why do you guys do what you do?
I think the biggest part is to help other people.
Yeah.
And to try and understand. To
Yeah.
see if we can learn what happens after you're gone.
Right.
Because nobody really knows.
I know. Is it, do you guys feel like that's what it is? It's ghosts who used to be living humans walking around on this planet, and now...
I think there's a whole tier system of different types of entities and hauntings and
human spirits, inhuman.
Right.
Luckily, we haven't found any inhuman
Thankfully.
yet.
Because we have taken a demonology class before, and that was really eye-opening.
Where do you take a demonology
Well, that was
class?
at our annual conference that we go to.
Oh,
so it's all the groups from the state get together, and we have classes and bring in guest speakers, some famous ghost hunters. And, And this is one somebody that does that, and so he brought evidence, and so we could see video, audio, and that was one point that we really questioned what we were doing.
You might cross something like that?
Yeah, right. So we're always mindful of that.
That's true, because whenever you walk into an investigation, you have no idea what you're going to encounter.
Right. We have a system, we'll go and interview someone just sort of like we came in here.
Yeah.
They'll contact us, whoever, and we'll go
I
in to make
I
sure.
looked you up before we came here.
Yeah. We did some
You weren't
background.
scared away?
No.
I wasn't.
Just to make sure we've had people before come to us, and we've looked at their Facebook pages. We're like, okay, this is somebody that's sort of, we're not going to go there.
Yeah.
So we do a little to keep ourselves safe.
Good.
We never meet anyone alone. We always have at least two, preferably three people.
Good.
At all times.
Good.
Because I had one guy call me and get mad because I wouldn't go to his house to watch his videos.
Yeah.
Oh,
he never called me again when I
super
said
creepy.
no.
And that's also a rule when we go ghost hunting too. Is you never do it alone. When you're
No,
always
you're never
with
in a
at
room
least one
alone.
other person. So,
Are you guys comfortable? Are you warm? Are you you're okay?
I'm comfortable. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just coming off a cold, so I might have to.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I hope you
Excuse me, I have to go outside and cough.
It's okay. I'm not a radio station, so I don't have a cough button, but it's okay. We'll get through it. There was one, I don't remember which podcast it was, where I had a terrible cough, and it was every time I'm catching myself.
And you'll be fine until you're doing something like that.
Exactly. It's like a...
Or in your quiet place or whatever. Exactly.
So, you mentioned, Pam, that you're a founding member.
Yes.
Please tell us about the history of Gold Coast. How did this paranormal society get started?
Was one of the founding members who's still with us, Gary, and a friend of his posted a meetup on Facebook. Anyone who, well, it wasn't Facebook back then; it was Meetup. And anyone who was interested, come. I think we met at up in Lake Worth at the band show.
Okay.
You know? And, you know, a bunch of us got together and just started talking, and then we decided, you know, kind of vetted out a few of the people that weren't really there for the right reasons, let me say. And we just formed a group. We set up a website, you know, did some advertising, and started doing investigations like that.
That's all, how many people were part of it at the very beginning?
In the very beginning, there were 8.
Okay. Is it about that same number now, or is it?
We have 7 now.
7 now. 7 now. So, what made you decide to go
grew up
forward?
in a haunted house.
Well, that it needs some explanation.
Lots and lots and lots of stories.
Can you please share?
The first one, excuse me, was the first thing that happened that made us think that there was something going on. I was maybe 10 years old.
Was this in Florida? Or
no, it was in Northwest Indiana.
Okay.
My brothers and I were upstairs. It was late evening. My parents were downstairs playing cards with my aunt and uncle. Mm-hmm. They were playing bridge. They had played several hands. All of a sudden, a card's missing. They couldn't figure out where it went.
Mischief.
So they just figured, well, one of the kids snuck down and took it, which didn't happen. But my mom found that card 2 weeks later upstairs in a drawer in her bedroom.
That's so weird.
And that was just, things like that would always go, you know, things that we thought were supposed to be in one place would never be there. Mm-hmm. But with 5 kids, they just figured that at first it was, you know, the kids were doing things like that. But then, you know, the more we started talking about it and comparing stories and things that happened, we realized it's not the kids. And then my mom would be in the basement where the washer and dryer was. We'd all be in school and she'd hear her name be called.
Really?
And we did find out later that the house was built in like 1918, and we did find out later that one of the previous owners had died in the basement. While he was walking up the stairs. Is that where the washer?
That's where the washer.
Yeah, he was walking up the stairs and had a heart attack. Yeah, and he was just a playful spirit. I think he liked having family and children around.
Probably just liked having the house occupied.
Right, and then once we all left the house, and when my parents put it up for sale, he got violent. He would hold my mom down. She would lay that necklace down and wake up, and it would be tied in knots.
Oh my gosh!
Of course, I'm skipping a whole span of about 15 years here, but, you know, that was,
Really? That's just, I'm thinking about the necklace, and I've never heard of that kind of thing.
Yeah, the chain was tied in knots.
Yeah.
And my daughter, we never spoke about it, you know, in front of my daughter. She was 4 years old. She was sleeping in my old bedroom, and all of a sudden she called out, "Grandma, Grandma, how come Grandpa's in the closet smoking?" He wasn't home.
Oh.
So she just said, "Come on and sleep with me now."
Yeah.
But, you know, things like that happened all the time.
Yeah,
you know, and I just wanted to know why this happens.
Right. What is it all about? I get that, absolutely. Yeah. How about you, Carrie?
I was thinking about this because I knew you were going to ask this. I was thinking back to, my grandfather died when I was 7. And I'd never really been censored from anything. Like, I could listen to Boy George and Madonna when I was 4.
You rebel.
Yeah. And, you know, we always had Halloween was huge in my house. But when he was dying, like, so my grandparents lived next door to my aunt and uncle. So when he was dying, they were all at my grandmother's house. Yeah. And all the kids, we had to be over in the other house with another person watching us. And I was wanted to get over there. I wanted to know what was going on. I wanted to know why I was being kept away. Yeah. You know, and I think that's when it started, like, what is this about? What is this death? You know, at 7 years old. And,
very curious.
Yeah, wondering why I couldn't be over there, what's happening to him, and then wondering where he is now, you know, kind of thing. So I never, like, I just thought about that just recently. Like, that's where it kind of started. And then always, like I said, Halloween, and then when, like you said, the Ghost Hunters came on TV, I'm like, wow, people actually do this. So, and then, so I'm a journalist, and so we're always, you know, reading all the papers, what's going on.
Investigating.
Exactly. Curiosity, always. So, and I saw a feature on the group. This was 2009. And I'm like, wow. So I took my friend, we went to their meetup, and I've been with the group ever since.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Good for you, good for you. How about you, Dawn?
Oh, mine started when I was a kid. I can remember when I was at least 4 or 5. And we went into my mother's bedroom, and I would see, like, orbs. I mean, you don't really like to picture orbs, you know, but when you see them with your own eyes, that's something different. Right. And I would call them the Christmas lights because they were always different colors. And it wasn't just me. My sister saw them. My mom saw them. Like, we all saw them. Yeah. So that's when that started. And then I remember when I was little, a little girl coming over to our room, my sister Diane, who was also a member of the group, we shared a room. And she would just, like, motion for me to come.
Really?
Come here. And she had, like, a white pinafore dress on.
Are you serious?
Black ringlet. Yeah, black ringlets on her hair. And I would go and we would play the hand clapping games, you know. Like
what? You would play with her?
Yeah, it wasn't an imaginary friend that I can think of. Because,
yeah, you were just at the age where you're open.
All the time, it was just like once in a while, and I would go with her and sit in the closet, and we would do this.
Oh my gosh!
So it was like I knew what she was saying.
Yeah.
Her mouth was never moving.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so it started that way. Yeah. And then my father died when I was 7, and I remember laying in the bed with Diane, and we were over my Aunt Betty's house. Maybe not Aunt Betty's house. But we were laying in a guest bedroom, and everybody was there talking, you know, whatever, and we went to bed. They sent us to bed. So I remember laying down and seeing a shadow of a man. Like, it had the form, like a human form of a man. And my sister and I always thought that it was my dad at that time. So I remember that, and I was 7 at that time. And then the thing that got me started with this was my mother had passed away from cancer. She was in a hospice. She died in front of me, you know, so that was traumatic. I went home. I got the Bible that she gave me. I sat on the bed. I wasn't laying down on the bed or even. But I held the Bible, and I felt like a wave of energy, like tingles, you might say, but it kind of like was like a wind. And I got the tingles, and there she was in front of me. Not full-bodied, but it was like just the torso.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Your mama?
My mama.
So that's like not even, you can't deny, I mean, you recognize your own mother. Like, you know what I mean?
My father came back and talked to me.
That's amazing.
And once again, her lips weren't moving.
Yeah.
But I heard her say, well, she held my cheeks, and I could feel it. She held my cheeks, and she said, I love you always. And that was like the single most comforting thing that there ever was. And then she just faded into the corner of the room. And I was like, what was that?
Yeah.
And
gosh.
a few, time went by. And in between that time, I was looking up on the computer, afterlife, communications. And I found another team, I'm not going to say their name, but I had went to one of their meetups. And luckily they accepted me as a member, and I investigated with them for a while. And in between time, I talked to my sister Betty, and she had the same experience that I did, except my mother was holding her hands. But we never told each other this story.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? So that kind of
So how many years later
before.
was like about?
This was like a couple years later.
Wow.
So that's what we call visitation.
Yeah, after death visitation.
Interesting.
So that's what got me started into this.
Yeah.
I forgot one story in between when I was 7 and 2009 or whatever. When I was 17, my grandmother died, and I remember sitting in my room, and you know how everybody's house has a smell. You can kind of your own house smell. My grandmother's house had a smell, and it just wafted by me, like out of nowhere. There was nothing inside my house from her house or anything at that point. I was like, why do I smell her house?
Yeah,
So it was interesting. So I'm always interested in the smell aspects of it, like because those are some clues sometimes. That's why we don't wear. Well, we're not supposed to wear perfume or deodorant that has a smell or anything. We're investigating in case something that does happen like that. We can know that it's not one of us and something.
I was going to ask, because I know, like, obviously the visual and the audio is the easiest to record and stuff like that. How do you guys often encounter, the smells, tastes, and feelings? Like, have you ever had those experiences? I mean, you just mentioned a smell, but
I think the most evidence that we get is through EVPs, which are electronic voice phenomena.
Yes.
That's
a lot of people ask me if that's a.
I was looking at
that is.
The Zoom,
audio recorders like that.
Do you?
Just like that.
Yeah.
So that's where we get 95% of our evidence.
The little ones.
Yeah, I mean, pictures, video, super, super rare. I mean, that's
we do get feelings at times.
Yes, that's the second.
There was one house that we did in West Palm that, and normally nothing bothers me, but we were in one old abandoned, they were refurbishing an old apartment building, and something just told me I had to leave the room. And I just got up, I said, I got to get out of here.
That was
we were investigating with another group, too, at the same time.
Yeah.
And one of their group members, one of the guys, just started like screaming and yelling and hollering, and they said that is so out of character.
He wanted to fight somebody.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
So they got him and took him downstairs, got him away from the situation.
Right.
And Pam left.
I just went outside.
Did he feel better?
Yes, he felt better after a while.
Yeah, I couldn't go back in that one particular room, that one unit.
Wow.
It happened to him on the other side of the building.
That's amazing.
Because we were on the one side when I don't know, I just had to leave. I don't know what it was.
Right.
Something just told me to leave, so I always go with your gut.
I've only had one, like, diehard experience. Well, I mean, I guess after my grandmother passed, my mother's mother, I remember sitting in church one day. I was by myself, and I remember I knew she was next to me. I felt her presence there next to me. But the one only, like, diehard experience I had, I was maybe 7. I remember I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and I went back into bed, and as soon as I laid in bed and closed my eyes, and I had, like, pulled up the sheet, so my arm was kind of across my chest like this, and as soon as I closed my eyes, I felt a clamping of fingers and hands on my arm, and I immediately froze in fear. That was my fear response when I was a kid, was I froze. I mean, just absolute
Sure, that's pretty common.
total paralysis.
Yeah.
I couldn't even open my. I remember telling myself, "Open your eyes, open your eyes." And eventually, meanwhile, the nails are digging into my skin, and I imagine I eventually was able to open my eyes, and as soon as I did, it went away. Wow. And it was interesting because I ended up having, like, these little, they're gone now, but these little scars for 5 years, plus years at least.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, that was, and then there was a case of what looked like vampire teeth that appeared in our ceiling one night, and my brother convinced me it was my cousin, but I don't know what that was. But yeah, that's the only really crazy, experience that I've had. It was, but when it's one of those things when, and I'm sure from things that you had when you were kids, like, you almost kind of wonder, did that really happen at some point? Yeah. But I know it happened. It was just weird. I remember my mom, when we moved into the house when I was in high school, there was an old man who lived there right before we moved, and they had sold the house to pay some medical bills, right? He passed away shortly after we moved in, and then she woke up one night and saw him walking through the house after he passed. So, yes.
That could be something what we call residual, where, he lived there and he was just reliving,
It's almost like a memory of
like a tape recorder.
So it all depends on whether they interact with you or not. If they don't, if it seems like they're just like a record player just doing the same thing over and over again, that's what we call residual.
So how do these investigations work? So someone calls up or emails or what have you?
I'll call or email, and the first thing we do is Google them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Make sure they're not crazy.
Whatever we can.
Yeah.
Right.
Go to the police blotter.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
I don't blame you.
We'll research the property.
I don't blame you.
We'll research the property records.
Yeah.
And then we'll call and talk to them or email. That's the first thing, is a phone interview. And then, if it seems like they're on the up and up, that they're not, just trying to get somebody to come over and do anything, then we'll send, like, maybe the 3 of us to go over and talk to them for a while. And sometimes we can resolve things just with that step, like there's couple. It was here in Boynton, wasn't it?
Which one?
The one with the table?
Oh, yes.
With the chairs?
Yes.
That the chair leg was broken, that one? I think
you
I
saw it on the site.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it that one?
But we thought when they said that they got this new table and it had all the chairs moved, that it was a brand new table that they had bought. We found out they got it from a friend of a friend of a friend. So it was new to them, but it wasn't a brand new table. So we suggested that possibly something could have been attached to it. When it got moved, it was just readjusting, because then they never had any issues after that, and that seemed to resolve their problem.
Did they get rid of it?
No, they kept it, because nothing happened after that with the table.
Yeah, a lot of the times we'll find electrical problems.
Because a lot of stuff like that can interfere with.
Exactly.
So I've been trying to understand this, right? So I know, like, electrical equipment and things like that, from what I understand, which is very little, that can interfere with, like, EVPs or with something.
We call it EMF.
Okay, EMF.
And that can, depending on person.
Are those two different things, EVPs and EMF?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, EMF is what emits.
Electromagnetic field is the energy that's measured by our equipment.
Right. that we use.
Yeah.
And depending on the person, it can cause, nausea, rash, paranoia, depending on how strong it is.
Hallucinations.
And then people interpret that as paranormal activity.
Right. So first thing we do is we go through and sweep a place to make sure there's not any outrageous numbers going on over, behind the appliances or things like that, which they have in the past.
Because, I saw in one of your reports you mentioned the ceiling fan was emitting.
Right. And some people are more sensitive, like some people have allergies to dust, some to other things, some are allergic to electromagnetic fields.
Interesting. So what is, get more into the equipment, because I was looking at your website and I'm like, they use a lot of crazy, I'm just going to go through what it says on the website. Digital recorder. K2 meter, K2, is that what it says?
Yes.
K2 meter, a Mel meter, laser grids, video cameras, full spectrum and infrared, digital cameras, ghost box, audio software, EMF pumps, motion detectors, flashlights, and most important, your eyes, ears, and instincts. So that's a lot of equipment, aside from the eyes, ears, and instincts. That where does that all come from?
We buy it.
Yeah.
We buy our own equipment and we share it.
Yeah.
Basically, is what
everybody has at least one audio recorder.
And a flashlight.
Flashlight, our ears, eyes, and
Yeah.
Camera, regular camera.
A regular camera. You can take pictures with your phone.
We determine what we use on the case. Okay, let's try this or let's try that. And some of us have our little favorite things that we like to use.
It's all just experimenting. Yeah. There's no concrete evidence that any of it works. It's just testing and experimenting, and that's all it is. There's no definitive answers in this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What is a K2 meter?
A K2 meter.
No, I should have brought some of my equipment.
No, it's okay.
It measures. Go ahead.
Well, if you've seen the shows, it's that thing that I always think
the red and green lights.
It's that little
yeah. Because
Yeah.
I've seen it used as a method of communicating, attempted communication. I've seen flashlights used in that way, I think, too.
So with the K2, we'll use it as a yes and no kind of thing. So we'll ask a question, make it light up to the red light if you're male or you're female. Are there more than 7 you are in this room, and make it light up? Or if you want us to stop, don't make it light up. We just play around with it.
Right. What are some of your favorite investigations or things that you've encountered when you've been out in the field?
I guess I'm going to tell them about my face thing.
Your face thing?
Yes. Face thing. Because I don't think anybody believes me.
Well, that's the thing with personal experiences.
Yeah.
It's that's what it is. You can't document that. You can't prove it. Well, it's just something that happened to you.
And I was thinking about the taste, the smells, and touches. Right. There's no way to really.
No.
You can't run a video and say, "Watch this."
Right.
Which
is unfortunate because those are the
extra
best
frustrating. Yeah.
But we do mark it down in our reports, and it's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, like this
is
one.
An example.
This is my personal experience. Although there were other people by me, but not with me.
I think I was in the
bathroom. And I was out in the hallway, and it was a villa, and they had upstairs, downstairs, and I was on the threshold of the bathroom, right by the upstairs.
It's like a landing.
Stairs, the landing
kind of.
Yeah, so you could look down and see the first floor. And so I was facing in towards the bathroom, but I got this feeling. I get a lot of feelings, so I got this feeling. Look out, Donna, or something's there, and I got another thing of the energy. I got a wave, and I felt the tingles, and something told me to look, so I looked, and there was this glowy face in the middle of where you could look down to the first floor, right in that section
just
there.
just hanging there.
Hanging out right in the corner there.
Did you describe it as kind of like the Sleeping Beauty, or
the mirror?
Face in the mirror, mirror on the wall. That face, but it was just hanging there. But, this happened in a second, okay? Really, I'm talking like it's happened, took minutes, but it took a second or two. So I turn around, I see this face, and it starts coming at me.
What?
And I ducked.
Gosh!
I ducked, and I said, "Get your EMF out here."
For real?
I didn't know what else to say.
It
took me by surprise, and I literally ducked because I thought it was going to hit me.
Yeah.
But it looked like an old man's face. When it got, closer, it looked like an old man, like he was trying to scare me. Well, it worked.
Of course.
You ducked.
I ducked. I wasn't screaming or anything. I ducked.
So that's what we try to go with our instincts. We say, for some reason, I really want to go to this room. we don't know. I don't know why. So we just do it.
Just drawn there.
We just do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like something just told me to look, and I looked, and it came at me. I ducked. I was like, "Get your EMF out!"
Yeah.
And we're laughing about the bathrooms. For some reason, everybody has a story about in the bathroom.
Really?
Yeah. We're always sitting in people's bathrooms.
Does it, I think I've heard through the random things that I've listened to or watched that, like, water can
Natural
generate.
elements.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking bathroom, there's a whole tub right there in the toilet, you know.
Yeah.
There's a constant
We've had a lot of cases
water,
where they've been on a canal, on lakes, so we always kind of get that into in the back of our mind.
Well, I had one, you know about it, in my brother-in-law's house. Mm-hmm. He had trouble for a while. So he called me over one time because they actually had an incident where the door slammed to his bedroom and it locked. And he was in there.
Was he in it or out?
Yeah, he was inside sleeping.
I mean, neither is really great,
his
but
girlfriend tried to went to the bathroom, it slammed on her and locked, and she couldn't get in, and she's knocking on the door, and she woke him up. And she goes, "Why'd you slam the door and lock it on me?" "I didn't do that." So he called me over, "Donna, can you come over?"
So bizarre.
So we don't usually go alone, but it was my brother-in-law's house, and I know him, I know the neighbors and whatever.
Yeah.
So I went there alone with my little full-spectrum camera and my recorder and my little stuff that I have, and I sat in the bathroom. So I'm setting up, I'm walking, I put a recorder on the bed, and I'm going into the bathroom, and I said, "Okay, I left the recorder on the bed. You can talk to me if you want to, but I'm going to go right over here into the bathroom." And there's a voice in there, and my husband says it sounds like Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, jeez.
That's what it sounds like, and he goes, "Have a seat there. Please sit down."
Oh, with some fava beans.
I
right up.
I know.
Jeez.
That was on your recording?
That's on my recorder.
That was an EVP.
No, that was actually caught on my camera.
Are you serious?
So it was an EVP, but it was in my camera's audio.
So if she had heard that, we would call that a disembodied voice.
Yes.
So that's the difference between the two.
Okay.
We hear that real time as if we were sitting here.
That was a really creepy voice, and so now when I'm going into his bathroom, I'm going.
Oh my god! They haven't moved.
Jeez.
Because you were mentioning that you will look at like the property history. What does that mean? What do you
just
do
try to look at
look
news
how
articles,
do you do that? News articles?
You know, see prior owners, whatever we can see. You know,
there's one house. It was just not too far north of here. When we Googled the address, we found out that there had been a lot of drugs and parties and raids and things like that. So there could have been residual energy. Those weren't the people that were there now, but prior to them.
Yeah. Have you ever seen anything in the history of a house that just so perfectly lined up with what they were experiencing, or has that not quite happened yet?
Well, with that same house, we got some EVPs of actual names of people that we went and looked up in the PBSO blotter, and their names were in there.
Are you stop?
Yeah, they were in jail. And it was for drugs, I think it was, wasn't it?
Are you serious?
Yes.
We've been back to that house a couple times.
What kind of things are happening there?
Now it's pretty quiet. Now it was just like a type of a family visit, I think.
When we first went there, she was having claims that the dog cage got thrown across the room, and this was like a big dog cage.
With the dog in it?
Pages of the Bible opening up, that kind of thing.
Okay, time to move.
Time to move. Yeah. Getting touched. I think it was affecting her.
Yeah. There was a weird voicemail thing going on with her mother that, we can't say what it was, but it was... She would almost get like a butt dial, but the voice on the voicemail sounded super demonic and scary.
Really?
I
think it was us three.
It's
that
really
went for the initial
goosebumps.
Interview.
Yeah,
we heard that and we were going.
Yeah,
we were shaking, not shaking, but we felt the goosebumps when we heard it.
Yeah, it was really menacing. Wow. But obviously, we're never going to know what that really was.
Right.
But it was just part of the whole experience of that place. But I think one of our Crown and Glory EVPs that we've gotten was at. So we go to this old hotel.
I know what you're gonna say.
And hopefully you've listened to it.
I have.
So at our annual conference.
I love that one.
Yeah. So we go to our annual conference. We've been going there, 4 years now?
5 years now.
5.
Yeah, they're going 5. So
they figured out that there's a party up there, and they're trying to make themselves known.
So the hotel is almost 100 years old, and they set outside rooms that have had some sort of activity. They don't tell us what's happened there. We don't know anything. Mm-hmm. So we were in room 248 at this place. And
sounds like you'll never forget it.
Yeah, no, we won't. It's very special.
I'm going there Friday.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Back.
I'm so jealous.
So,
yeah, I got that room too.
So it was
time.
me and Donna. For you. Yeah, me and Donna, Gary and Dave, our other 2 investigators. in this room. These rooms are super old, tiny, they're small. And so Donna and I were at a table. We had our recorders, just like, regular digital recorder, next to each other. Dave was on one bed, Gary was on another, videotaping. So we went in there. We'd had some issues with the air conditioner in our room, so we were talking about that, like looking at the air conditioner, like this one works good, and just mentioning like what temperature it was, which is it turns out to be really good that we were talking about that. And so we weren't even doing an EVP session proper yet. We were just getting into it, getting ready to go to kind of chill mode, just to let everything level out. And so we get back from our trip. And she emails me. She's like, "Go check your recorder in room 248." I'm like, "Whoa, what happened?" Because I know when we were there, nothing happened to us. There was nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, it was just we were there for 15 minutes, I think was our time in there.
Maybe half hour. Maybe something like that.
And nothing remarkable happened. So I go play it. Not like a minute in, we get this EVP.
Yeah, because we just started.
And and right after, I think I was speaking when it came in or whatever. I don't know if you can play it when you do, but
I have it on my computer.
Do you? Okay, I can try to pull it up.
So for anybody who wants to go check, it's on our Facebook page.
It's the first one I put on.
It's really
on our
special.
Website.
Let me see if I can hold on, because go ahead and say
it answers all the questions.
So So what it says is this woman saying, "Am I alive or am I dead?"
So crazy.
And it is clear as day. It's got this other era tone to it. You can tell it's not a person from this time.
I mean, what was so crazy when I first heard it was, it literally sounds like someone standing there, holding the recorder, right? And kind of like, okay, they're all talking to each other, no one's paying attention. I'm just going to say this real quick. It was so clear.
Which is what we call Class A.
I couldn't even, I was like, so when I'm listening to it, I'm expecting, something jarbled, because it was the first one on the list on the website. So I'm expecting, the normal jarbled thing.
You gotta listen really closely.
Right, and so when I heard it, I'm like, that can't be it. There's no way.
Like, there's no way. Whenever I play it, they're like, well, where was it? I'm like, they're like, that wasn't a person?
That
is no.
So
that is
insane.
None of us. So what's so special about it is because it is so clear, because it is the tone, it could have been from somebody 100 years ago, and then the content of what she's saying, am I alive or am I dead? Says it all right there.
It's so crazy. I'm trying. I almost have it. Here we go. I'm gonna play it for our listeners. Hopefully this play.
So I started like screaming, running around the house when I heard it. Like, this can't be true. Like, what? But it was, it was a perfect situation. It was such a controlled environment.
Yeah.
That we know that there wasn't anybody in there.
Because you're in a closed room.
There was the four of us, All
right, let's see if this works.
And the best part is they each got it.
Yes, on 2 recorders.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I was just gonna we gotta do one.
Unbelievable to me. I'm going to rewind just one more time for the listeners. Listen to it again.
And
I think
it's 83.9 now. Is that the goal to 86?
No. I was just gonna we gotta do one.
it's so bizarre.
Listen really closely before it. Yeah, right.
It almost sounds like someone who's not that distantly removed from Europe, like maybe their parents were immigrants or something. I don't know.
I just like the time period.
It just seems so bizarre. I heard it. I'm like, there's no. That's just so crazy.
It really was a perfect situation, catching on both recorders. To the point where I was like, did they like try to trick us? Like put something under the table. To see how good we were. Right. Debunking things or whatever. Like it really, because it was just too perfect.
I just gotta wonder, like, what's the motivation from the spirit's perspective? And sometimes they want to make, assuming they want to make contact or they want to get you out of somewhere.
Right.
But in something like that, am I alive or dead? I mean, clearly she wants to answer.
Because there have been several other teams in there before us, so we thought maybe they riled her up. They're like, "Are you dead?" Because we don't know what other. We're very respectful.
True.
We don't say, do you know you're dead? We don't do things like that.
I hate to even ask that question because I feel like
what has never occurred to them.
I don't want to scare them.
Because what if they don't know? Obviously, there's
I always think of that, and especially with that EVP,
right.
and I think, well, I don't want to shock them.
Yeah.
Are you dead?
Yeah.
So maybe.
But who knows what people did before us that were in that room. Right. So when we got there, she's probably like, tell me, am I alive or am I dead? You know?
Unbelievable.
So that's why we were so sad that we couldn't get back in there, because we really wanted to go back in there and be like, we heard you, you know?
There's another one I'm dying to play, and I'm hoping you guys can give me the background on, where'd it go? Give me the background on this. We'll do the background on the other side. Let's see, where is it? Okay. I hope you guys were there. Let's see if you guys are there. I'm not saying which one it is.
Probably.
Yes, y'all. All three were there. Okay, here we go. Oh, come on, play.
They designed this house themselves? Yeah, I think Frank built it. So I think it was lumber that I was in this where they had those. It makes sense. It's Dane County Pine.
It's Dane County Pine.
Yeah.
It's so
it's our
like, thank you for helping me out, and I just pooped my pants.
That's who we believe to be Ivy Stranahan, the Stranahan house in Fort Lauderdale.
So what's the is that a historic house, or is that a, okay, I know nothing about it.
And it was built out of Dade County pine.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Was it? It was really built.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
weird.
most houses back then were at that.
And real tragic history of the house.
Yeah. Frank.
Yeah, Frank killed himself in the back Rooney River that is right outside the backyard. It's right near our house. He jumped in. There was a grate. I think he took a grate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tied it to himself and jumped in and drowned himself.
There's a story of a little Indian girl coming over, visiting the place.
There was Indian wars. Some of those happened there too.
We got some other EVPs from there.
Yeah, there's a lot of history and a lot of stories of that place. So
there's a lot. So okay, I went to college in New Orleans, right, which is and it has its own level of issues when it comes to
you could just
natural, otherworldly things.
That was another reason what kind of got me into it. Staying there when I was in a senior in high school, and you could just
unbelievable. I mean, they have their cemeteries are nicknamed the cities of the dead. Right. Like, come on, you know what I mean? But so it makes me. So I remember back when I was living in New Orleans, there were ghost tours, which I went on. Vampire tours, all kinds of things.
Anne Rice tour.
Yes, that's the one I went on. The Anne Rice tour. That's the one I went on. So my question is, what have you found through your experience makes Florida right for this type of thing? What's in the history that you've uncovered and things that you've seen? Is there anything in particular?
Basically, I believe it's just all the Native American burial grounds are all over.
Really?
The place. I mean, it's literally all over.
And there's the big unmarked grave up in at that one cemetery.
Evergreen, is that? No, it's not Evergreen, is it?
Where the hurricanes came through, all these people died.
And mass buried them, and
was like hundreds died or something?
Oh,
was it thousands?
Yeah. There's just like one big mass burial site.
Oh Jesus!
But aside from St. Augustine, aside from St. Augustine, Florida is relatively new compared to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's just everywhere. There's something going on everywhere.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be at nighttime. You don't have to experience things just at night. We just do that because that's when it's the most quiet. You can have less contamination in your investigation. So that's a huge myth of the ghosts only come out at night. Now, you got something happen at noon when you're sitting at home.
Right, that's true.
We've done daytime investigations.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's just easier because it filters out.
The world has calmed down. There's not as much traffic out.
Traffic out in the street coming in, or back when people had landlines, you don't have the phone ringing all the time. Yeah.
So we try to recreate whatever problems people bring to us. A lot of the time shadows are just cars passing by with the headlights on.
That one video on your website. Okay, here's another question. Does Gold Coast Paranormal Society aim to prove or disprove paranormal activity?
We first try to disprove.
Right.
We try to find a logical reason. Like the electrical issues.
Yeah. So the reason I asked that is because the video, you have this one video on your website, and I just read the title before I read the description. I read the title, watched the video, and then I read the description. I'm so glad I actually did it in that order because the title says something like a shadow or some. It's questioned whether it's a shadow, right? And so I watched the video and I'm like, I didn't see anything. And I watched it again. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so creepy. That is so weird. And then I read the description. I'm like, oh,
there's no hoax. or something? Or
no, it was a team member's shadow.
Oh,
so someone was behind the camera
how,
and walked, and then it just got caught on the wall.
That's an example of showing how these things,
Yeah, I thought that was so cool that you guys have that on your website. I'm like, that's awesome.
It's so easy to, that's why you've always got to be thinking of what else could it be.
Right. Yeah. When you guys can't think of another, times when you guys can't come up with another logical explanation, right?
Oh, that EVP is
right,
example.
Exactly. You know, all of that stuff that you guys have seen, heard, felt, touched, tasted. What impression has it left on you as far as what that answer may be?
I think it just makes us ask more questions because we can't get an answer.
Right.
And every time, every investigation is different. Sometimes it will be just a residual haunting. Sometimes we can debunk it. Sometimes it'll be the people who lived there before don't like the new people in their house. There's always, sometimes it's poltergeist activity. We had another...
and what exactly, I mean, I saw the movie when I was a kid, right, a million times, but what exactly is a poltergeist versus a ghost?
Okay, a poltergeist is basically energy, or negative energy that, like, the basic feeling is that it's almost like hormonal with teenagers, teenage girls. Because they've got all this, energy going
Puberty.
on. They cause it themselves. They
feed it.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yes, and you can tell about the one case that.
Yes,
your friend.
My buddy.
Yeah, your buddy.
We had
a buddy in the flesh or buddy not in the flesh?
A sarcastic buddy.
Actually, she lived here in Boynton too. And she would hear knocks. She would hear noises. She would see shadows, and she was really into World War II information. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because we try and keep everything confidential. We don't want anything, but and we just kept trying to tell her, if she'd bring all this old memorabilia from who knows where into her house, and she was just convinced that she was being haunted by someone from a previous period. We couldn't find any evidence of anything, and then what clicked for the solution for that one was she told me she was very angry, and she was a very emotional person, and she was writing a letter, and the angrier she got, the harder she wrote, and then she kept hearing all this knocking, and when she stopped writing the letter, the knocking quit. So we did a little bit of research. She was, like I said, a very emotional person, and we pretty much decided it was poltergeist activity. And she would call me almost every week. This happened, that happened, this happened. And we did some research. I wrote her, a nice little paper about poltergeist activity and EMF sensitivity. They had a cell tower near their apartment.
Not to mention the cemetery.
The cemetery on the other side.
So right in the middle of.
We did get a few EVPs, but it was nothing threatening, nothing like that.
Yeah.
But what I ended up telling her is you need to relax. You don't need to get so upset. You don't need to get so angry. Take a yoga class.
Yeah.
And then she only called me one time after all this to tell me that she was walking into her bedroom. She was mad at her husband, and the lamp turned on. I said, "You just told me."
I'll edit it out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's okay.
I
remember to. Yeah. Please text me.
Yeah.
Write me to edit that out.
I said, you just answered your own question. You said you were angry. That's why the light turned on. She goes, oh, okay. And, we had given this information to her and her husband, and he read it all, and he kept saying, bingo, this makes perfect sense. This is what
you could see like the light bulb come over
his head. He was so relieved that it wasn't anything else. Then she called me back like 20 minutes after she called me and said the light went on. She said, you're absolutely right. I yelled at the light to turn back off, and it did.
Are you? Stop it.
Well...
And she would always wonder, why is it following me? Because it's her.
Yeah.
It's her.
But finally, I think we finally convinced her that it was her.
So, would you say that there is an energy in her house that is reacting to her, or is it literally coming from her?
Coming from her. Wow. And we had another case where it was a teenage girl, not a menopausal person. Right. It can go either way with those hormones. But... and I think that was poltergeist activity, the one where she got
scratches.
Yeah, all the scratches. Yeah. Wow. We think she basically was doing it to herself, but her mother didn't want to believe that her daughter would do that.
So there's so many ulterior explanations for things, but then there are a lot of things that simply can't be explained. Do you think, regardless of what the ultimate answer is, right, do you think we'll ever come to a place where we have the right technology or insight, whatever, to know what those answers are?
Interesting. The one thing that stuck with me, so do you know who Ryan Buell is? He was on Paranormal State. He had that show. It was like their college students. I'm trying to remember, it was a while ago. Anyway, a coworker of mine interviewed him, and she didn't really know much about ghost hunting or anything. So I kind of fed her the questions to ask him. And I told her to ask him, does he think we'll ever know what you just asked us? And he said, maybe we're not supposed to know. I'm like, I think that's
an honest answer.
Yeah,
that could very well be the answer.
I actually believe that too. I think there's some questions that they just won't answer.
Yeah.
Be honest with you, that's my feeling too.
Will not answer you. They'll answer
maybe we'll get close,
other
but
things,
I don't think
they
we're
won't
really
answer
gonna.
that question for you.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think, I think that about faith. I think that about spirituality.
Right.
I think that about all of that. And, I think that we're just little bodies on this planet, and we might not ever know the full story.
Right.
I mean, come on, like, there's a lot more to this universe than
so
just
much you
us.
can do,
So.
and it still won't be enough. You still won't know.
Right.
But it's fun to try.
Absolutely. What else do you guys believe in? Any other phenomena? Like, I don't want to diminish what you guys do, because I think it's, trust me, I think it will alter life. I should have been a paranormal investigator. This sounds amazing. But do you believe...
Not too late.
Maybe I'll come on an investigation with you guys someday.
Cool. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just kidding, but I'd love to come. I just invited myself.
I got your phone number.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would love to. I know you guys are going to be at the Boynton Mall, not Boynton Mall, Boynton Library.
Yes.
I just passed it actually a couple hours ago, dropping my son off at my parents'
We've
house.
done several library presentations.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Right around Halloween.
Yeah, makes sense.
No, I was at a meetup.
You were? I thought you came at the library, though.
No.
Wasn't a meetup at the library?
I was there presenting with you guys.
We show everybody our equipment. We talk about the different kinds of hauntings, and what we do, and go over, play EVPs.
Yeah.
And a lot of it depends on the crowd, whether it's teenagers, young adults, or older people.
We've got some cases out of people coming up and stuff too.
I believe that.
Yeah. Some people are afraid to admit that they think they have a problem,
right?
Because they're afraid everybody will think that they're
crazy.
They're crazy,
right?
Yeah. So when we come in, we're just normal people like you, and they feel so much better,
That's true.
right away.
That's true.
So that's October 27th, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock at the West Boynton Library.
Yes.
Okay, I'll be sure to include those details on the write-up.
Oh, thank you.
Guys. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. My mind was just buzzing when I was getting ready for this. Podcast.
One thing, it seems so glamorous on TV, but they edit it down. But we're literally sitting in
for hours. I can imagine. How do you guys make it through the night? Like, I would think
we goof around a lot, which has actually worked in our favor.
Especially
I think.
Carrie, we laugh.
We just talk about, because our theory is that, do you want to really just, if you were a ghost, sit there and hear somebody going, "What's your name?
Right.
What year were you born in?" We don't, I'd rather hear like what's going on in their love life.
The activity that brought you, that made someone pick up the phone and call you guys wasn't because they were sitting on their couch saying, "Hey,
that's true.
Is anyone listening? I want to ask you some questions."
Exciting.
Casual.
Yeah.
There was one
or friendly.
Yes, right.
Not hostile. We don't. We very rarely
and treat them like a person that they were.
Provokes it.
Right.
Like you see these guys on TV yelling.
Yeah.
If you're here,
Running
come
out.
show me a sign now.
Yeah.
What would be that rare instance that might cause you to go in that direction or take that route?
I don't think anything.
No.
Because we have so many channels of people that we can ask for help, and if it comes down to that kind of a dark something,
Well, there's a paranormal clergy.
Yes.
That
really?
That we can call. They're like clergymen and people who
people
are
who
skilled in that type of inhuman haunting.
Demonologists.
If we even think that might be the case, we can call them. They can get somebody out in that area, or just like a phone call.
Right. We would never ever attempt to do that ourselves.
Do you know if any of them ever done like an exorcism?
Oh yeah.
That's so crazy.
He's not the head of it.
He's not on it. The person who did.
But he's still consulting.
Yeah.
But he's the one that gave that lecture.
Right, that we sat in his class, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I've given their contact information out to somebody.
Yeah.
Just talking on Facebook, I was on a thread or something, and I forget what the thread was about, but she PM'd me, private messaged me on Facebook, and was telling me all about her daughter, and I go, wait a minute, I can't help you, with this. It sounded like in that direction, so I gave her the information to contact the clergy, and I gave her the information, and I also contacted them myself. So
that's what we do.
She would get the help.
So we would never, ever. Yeah. The first sign of that, we're handing it off. And the other thing is, we don't charge. We're here to help people. We're not here to make money. This is our hobby. We all have other jobs. Variety of different, professions, from appliance repairman to,
journalist.
Yeah, exactly.
Accountant.
Author, published author.
Yeah, wow.
So we don't ever charge. And any group that's, legit would not either.
How do you figure out who gets to go on which investigations and
depends on schedules.
Who's available?
Yeah. Location, because we have people down in Fort Lauderdale all the way up to where they're Waxahachie. So
sometimes we're all able to make it. If it's a big venue, we've done some interesting closed down mental hospital. We've done invited.
Was
to
that the asylum?
Yeah.
I think I saw you got. So what? Tell me about the asylum, please.
Well, was,
I know one of the EVPs I heard that
a group of investigators that have access to that, and they graciously invited us to come.
Where is it?
We're not to say.
Oh, okay. Well, I just mean in Florida.
Yes,
South
Florida.
Okay.
Yes. So
it's abandoned.
Yeah, it's closed down.
Oh my gosh, I want to go.
He has the hookup. Yeah. So we were there. We've gone there 4 or 5 times probably.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And it's massive. Lots of cool. It's 3 floors.
What does it look like inside? Does it look like someone could turn the lights on and it could still and things could happen, or is it completely
I mean, like in the operating room, they have this big, huge operating room light that's still there, which is kind of creepy.
Oh god.
Some of the equipment is still there.
Yeah, we found
trays are still there.
the morgue. Yeah. Actually, I didn't have any problems in the morgue. It was fine.
Really?
Yeah. We did a really cool. So we'll do this. We'll kind of, depending on what environment we're in, we'll try to recreate something. So we had one of our members get on the slab and push her in there. She had a toe tag on, everything.
Okay. I'm just putting this out there right now. If I go on an investigation, that will not be me.
She 100% was into it, volunteered.
I wouldn't do it.
No, she was very brave to do that.
Woo!
So,
I mean, you're talking fear of death, fear of ghosts, fear of claustrophobia. I mean, like, good lord.
And bugs.
Yeah, but it's very cool of her to offer herself up to do that.
I wouldn't have done it.
But it made for really cool pictures. Let's put it that way. So we found in there old things to clean up bodily fluids and these creepy posters that they had in like their activity room that they had like vandalized, and it's really interesting.
Oh my god!
It smells in there because the roof is coming down and it's rained in, and
like musty, moldy.
It's everything you would hope for in a closed down asylum.
Long dark tunnels.
Yes,
dark
stairwells.
I can imagine that might be the type of place that has what did you call it? Residual.
Yes,
residual
a
energy.
lot of residual.
Can you imagine?
So many stories.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what
at that time that I'm imagining. Honestly, I don't know which particular facility this was, but I imagine just the way you're describing and how old it must be, that was well before the mental health revolution and all that. So this was
when people still got shock therapy.
Lobotomies and all of that, or people were thrown in there for reasons that they shouldn't have been put in there and that type of thing. Jeez.
So there's
they even had all the medical records there.
Really?
Medication assignments.
So we would get behind the nurse's desk and be like, so and so, come get your medicine. Just recreating that.
Oh my gosh!
Anything we can do
to kind of trigger something.
Exactly. Yep.
Unbelievable.
We used dowsing rods in there one time, which is kind of interesting.
What are they called?
It's used to find water, usually, in nature. With the rods you take in your hand. And
those are real things?
Yes.
Those are real things?
It's really hard to get the hang of them. You have to be very, very still. You have to have your arms out at a certain angle, and you can do the yes/no thing with them. Like the rod will turn, like yes, it'll turn and come back.
What?
We were doing that, and what we got was a child.
Is it the rod that has like it curves to a hook at the
yes.
hook exactly, but like a 90-degree angle?
Yes, it's like straight like that, and it comes down. And you hold the shorter part of your hand.
Yeah. I didn't know those
so that's the first time I ever used those there. They're really hard to keep still. You got to keep them still to like.
What are they called again?
Dowsing rods.
Dowsing rods.
Yeah. So we used that there. But did you see a shadow person there?
I saw it wasn't exactly like a shadow. It was almost like a static form.
Like on like TV static? Like
you would see the snow on a TV. Okay. It was like that. Like I would see the little snow going, but it had a human form. It was like standing by the threshold of the door and wouldn't come in.
Yeah.
It was like standing by the threshold and then it just dissipated.
So you guys watch the shows on TV, like Ghost Hunter? One of my favorites right now is Ghost Inside My Child. Have you guys seen that one? Oh my god!
The celebrity ghost stories.
I keep asking my kid if he's had any weird dreams.
Some of them are just, they take a little dramatic license.
Of course. Totally. They had to make it, you know. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But do you guys, has watching those shows given you any ideas for your investigations? Have you applied anything? Do you feel like, yeah?
Well, on Ghost Hunters, usually that's where the company that makes all the toys we buy, we call them toys, but our equipment, where they usually test them out first on there.
Gotcha.
So you'll see all the new things coming out on there, and then we'll end up in our hands.
Porter, he's been on there a couple times.
Yeah.
During the last season.
Yeah.
But he makes a lot of equipment.
He's really
he always comes to our conferences. And he's a really nice guy.
If you could investigate anywhere, where would you be? Like, have you ever really, really, really wanted to investigate somewhere?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I would like
Salem.
to go.
Salem.
I would like to go to like the Penhurst or Trans-Allegheny, one of those old places.
Penitentiary or whatever.
You can't get to.
Yeah.
But St. Augustine is really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been investigated to death.
Yeah.
But I had Key West.
Key West. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I always wanted to go to. Do you know the Winchester House?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh, I so want to go there. Investigation or not, I just want to go there and just look around and just. I mean, I'm sure that there's a certain energy. There has to be an energy in there. Oh my gosh, that's right. That's right. Well, dreams might come true someday for you.
It's possible. But we like helping local people, and you know, we've been able to help. Fortunately, everybody that's come to us, we haven't had anybody.
But I always say it's not only the people, but it's the spirits too. You know, not only can we help the people, but we might be able to help
somebody else.
The lost,
who's confused.
The lost souls. Yeah, we can help
go to the light.
Do you feel like you've given that closure to some people? Like, have you sensed that?
Oh, sure.
How does that feel? Like, how's that communicated to you? How do you sense that?
Oh, as far as like spirits?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll never know that really, but
yeah.
As far as people, we'd be, yeah, I mean, we can hope, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if the activity calms down, then
that's true.
Maybe it's some sign there, but
that's true.
You know, that's the thing. You just there's never gonna be any concrete yay or nay on that. You know, it's just all experimenting and theories and personal experiences, and you just have to look at it that way, like, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I have to say, like, doing this has ruined me watching like horror movies. I don't get scared anymore.
The quintessential movie for this would obviously be Paranormal Activity. I mean, that did nothing for you because that scared the ever-living crap out of me.
I think I started watching the first one halfway through. I'm like, this is so dumb. I deleted it all.
Been there, done that. Whatever. I get it.
Like, no, that would not happen like that. No.
I get it.
So.
Well, thank you guys so much for doing this podcast. I had a great time. I think, what you guys do is absolutely fascinating. I've always wanted to talk to a paranormal investigator, and here I am talking to three. It feels so cool. But thank you so much. Yes, please share how they can find you and people can get in touch with you.
Yeah, well, our Facebook, we're Gold Coast Paranormal Society, I think is on the end of that. And our website is goldcoastparanormal.com. And I guess that's
come see us at the library, October 27th.
October 27th at 6, West Boynton Library. Right. Yep. And you're on Twitter is it Gold Coast Ghost, I think? Gold Coast Ghost. Okay.
No Instagram yet.
No Instagram yet. I know, I can find you guys.
We need to do that.
One day.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much. It was a real pleasure talking to you. Do you guys want to sign off the podcast? It's super easy. All you do is you can say, we're Donna, Carrie, and Pam with Gold Coast Paranormal Society, and this has been Curve the Cube. However, or any variation of that. It doesn't have to be exact.
Okay, my name is Donna. I'm here with Carrie and Pan, and we were so happy to be with Curve the Cube.
Yay! Thank you! High five! High five! High five! You guys were awesome!
Podcast.
If you want to do something sometime, we'll let you come as a guest.
Should we do a like investigation podcast or something? Yeah. Like for Halloween, maybe. That'd be kind of cool.
You have no, like, seriously,
we don't have any cases right now.
We don't have anything right now.
We could do like a cemetery sweep or something just to show you how we do EVPs.
Can I bring a friend?
Bring a what?
A friend.
If it's a cemetery, you know.
For a cemetery, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. See if we can hook something up.
Yeah, what would be the best one?
Well, I know the one way down by me, but that's way down in.
What do you do in a cemetery suite? I'm really.
Oh, we just take our recorders, just walk around,
and we can hold a K2 or anything that you can, hand hold.
Yeah, video camera.
Yeah. I usually carry a bag with me, so I can bring everything with me. But at that cemetery, it's pretty active. You're not recording anymore, are you?
I am, but I'll keep.
It's pretty active.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say which one it is then.
Okay.
You can just take it out. But it's the. And I've seen apparitions in there. I've seen ghost people or ghost figures in there.
Yeah.
There's one section that doesn't have a good feeling, so I kind of stay away from that anymore. But I even have my Caspers in there. I call him my Casper because he always leaves me good communication, and he's like, "Hi, Donna."
Are you serious? He knows you?
Yeah, it's kind of like weird.
That is so
Donna
weird.
is our expert on the ghost box, which we didn't get into. I was hoping we could get into the ghost box a little bit.
Well, we'll still record it.
It's a pretty controversial piece. It's like a newer piece of equipment, and it's sort of like either you love it or you hate it kind of thing now.
It's just like a radio, but now they make it specifically for ghost hunting, but way back when, before people really started making them for ghost hunting. It was called Frank's box, and what it was just a radio that he created. Frank, the last name, Sumter, I think.
Do they call it like the Radio Shack hack or something?
Yeah, well, that's the one that I have. It's like a little one of the old transistor radios. They've opened it up, flipped a pin inside it so it'll scan constantly, so you don't have to turn a knob. You just push that button and it'll keep scanning, and you'll just talk, and the white noise and all the radio frequencies jumbled all together. It helps them use their energy to communicate with you.
That's the theory.
But the old box in between, you would get the static from their other radio stations. So people were saying, well, that's just a radio station that they can
Yeah, how do you tell the difference between somebody trying to communicate and a radio station?
Is that the controversy?
Right.
Yeah, that's
so they've improved it a little bit.
Now they have like little bags you can put it in, Faraday cages that you can put the radios into, where it filters out all that radio
and
bleed.
it's filtered out a lot.
Just
recently got a really good example that we played at our conference. We're going to the reveal Wednesday for that one, and we asked for a specific person, Bill, and so I'm saying, Bill, we're looking for Bill, and we get a little voice that says hi, and it was a woman's voice, but I said, hello, who are you? And then we get, I'm Bill, but that was a male voice
very
that came
clearly,
there, very
male.
clearly.
Wow.
Says, I'm Bill, and we just said we're looking for Bill.
Yeah.
We get, I'm Bill.
Immediately
I'm wondering why it sometimes you guys can hear it in the moment and sometimes you can't.
Well, this is the ghost box is you're going to hear everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's because it's real time.
So it brings out, like, if you were to go home, for example, the one at the hotel, right, that you didn't hear at the time, would the ghost box it doesn't project anything that you can't hear?
Yes, sometimes. For me, sometimes using the ghost box facilitates EVP. Okay. It helps EVP come out. Okay. So sometimes you won't hear it as you're doing a ghost box session. You'll hear it afterwards. But usually during the ghost box session, you can hear live communication like that one was. We heard, I'm Bill. Wow. So we all go, yay!
We did. Because we heard it right then. You can tell we heard it. Yeah. We didn't use the ghost box in that hotel room.
No,
just thinking about that. Interesting.
Well, that's always your next trip there when you said you're going back, right?
Yeah, I was lucky for Paranormal Kicks Cancer. It's a charity for children's cancer research.
Interesting.
So we all get together, and it's at the Kenilworth this time where we have our conference, PIA conference, Paranormal Information Association. That's what that is. And so every time we've gone there since we got that EVP, and we have presented it at the next year's conference, we can never get that room anymore.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants it.
Well, and the
Yes,
thing
I
was,
know.
that was really validating because they were floored. They just could not believe what they were hearing. They even made Donna try to recreate the voice, like the accent and everything, to make sure it wasn't her.
Because I
which
thought
we
it
know
sounded like
obviously
me.
wasn't.
In my ear, it sounded like my voice, but I know I didn't.
And that's
do it.
something that happens sometimes, called like a doppelganger effect, where they'll mimic somebody. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. But that was not the case. We this was not the case.
I've heard visual doppelgangers, but I've never seen.
Heard of
them.
like they'll mimic somebody's voice. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but the guy who makes all the equipment we were talking about, he was there. He couldn't believe it either.
Yeah, Sean.
Yeah.
Sean Porter. Was
So
there.
we were like, score one for the Gold Coast Ghost.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna turn these off. So that was incredible.
Listen carefully with that. You might have something come up.
I know, right? I need to listen back to all these a little more carefully.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
You have successfully curved the cube.